Mhm. Okay, it's now 5:11. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Tea Time with Kitty. I'm giving everyone else a few more minutes to get all signed in so that we can get started. Welcome. Today's topic will be part 2 of family business. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. I just need to get a sound check. Shamika, can you make sure you can hear me okay, please? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's see. Today's topic is family business. I'm just waiting to see who we have out there so that we can get started. Um, Thank you for joining in as you do each and every Wednesday. Okay, thank you, Shamika, as you do each and every Wednesday. So I thank you all so much for joining in. And today we will be talking about family business. Hey, I'm working. Oh, hey. I need your number too. I lost all my contacts. So let me first say that to Tea Time. If anyone today get a chance between today and tomorrow, I'm trying to get my contacts back. I don't have any contacts. I had not had my phone for the whole weekend. I just got my phone back on Monday. So I don't know my iCloud and all that good information. So you all have to bear with me. I normally always avoid the iCloud process, but this go around this time showed me how important it is after being locked out, after locked out at the time and time again. So therefore, I will definitely be using it and getting back in. So for some of you all, please, hey Trail, I mean, hey Chilo Trail, I definitely need you to call me when tea time is over. Oh, thank you, Chucky, for letting my mom watch. I wasn't really going to do March birthdays today, but since mom is on the line, I do want to give my mom a very, very happy pre-birthday shout out. March is for mother, for our mother, and we try to make sure we celebrate her throughout the month of March. She will be having a birthday celebration on next Thursday. I will make sure the emails and the texts go out. Hopefully by tomorrow. They would have been went out if it wasn't an issue with my iCloud. But if you don't receive one from me by Saturday, please reach out so that I can make sure that I have your number and that I have your information. Mimi, is this your 607 number? Okay, someone else is texting me, but I don't know who it is. But thank you, whoever that is that's on tea time with me, because I can't see who it is. So definitely be celebrating her next Thursday and definitely be giving the information out to you all if you would like to come and celebrate with us and just have a good time and just thank God for another year of celebrating with my mom. So last month was February, Black History Month, full of love. I did not finish off my shout outs. Let's see, somebody about to tell me who they are. Oh, hey, sis. Okay, I gotta say your number. I lost my contacts, and I need to speak to you too. So I'm glad you text me because I need to call you and ask you something today. So last week was Daniel's birthday, so this is his official birthday shout out. Because I didn't get to get on. We had some furniture and stuff that got delivered right when I finally made it home and was going to catch tea time for a little bit at the end. So of course I was praying today. I do want to give safe travels out to Dayan as she traveled to and from on her first business trip. And we just got to remind her that it is business so she won't get there and be soaking under the sun. But first and foremost, before I go on any longer, I wanted to see if Pookie was on yet, so I'll come back to that. So happy birthday to my Uncle Butch, who celebrated. He is the oldest man in our family, my Uncle Butch, and he celebrated his birthday yesterday, still in his early 70s, praying that he will get to 80 and beyond. My other uncle who exceeded him, I think we lost Uncle Mac maybe a year or so ago, but definitely want to give him a great big birthday shout out. And let's see while we're waiting for Pookie to get on Donald. So Donald started his new job. Donald, you can chat in the happy birthday, thank you. And we'll be doing March birthday. So you know I'll be getting my husband next week. Mimi, when we do our March shout outs. But Donald just started his new job. Donald is definitely big on doing things himself. His twin sisters like that a little bit too. But Donald just got his security license, just started his new job, already has the opportunity to take on overtime with his new job. So we definitely want to give out a shout to Donald. So claps up to Donald, and congratulations on your new job and wherever else life will take you. Let's see. Let me see who else. I had another chat coming in, and then I'm going to try to find something. Okay. Thank you, Mimi. So then I just need to find one more thing. Because let's see, one more thing before I get into it. And you know, we're talking about family business today. Um, let me know where you on. Okay. We're talking about family business today, and one of my sisters sent me some information because we talked about it the last time that we were on the air, and she just sent me some things that she wanted me to discuss that we sometimes leave out when we're talking about family business. So when we talk about family business, family secret, we talked about some of those things, but there were some things that she sent me as well that she wanted me to touch on as well. So let's see. And I guess I'll come back to Pookie once he's on. He probably is busy. So, oh, he's here. Okay, well, you know how most parents get all super excited when your child make honor roll and when they get perfect attendance, and when they get all these things. Well, as you know, my son is a proud DC government employee as his mother. Um, and they had an award ceremony. Someone told me that they were having this award ceremony, but had I know that he was going to break the bank like he did with those award ceremonies on Monday at his job, it was outstanding. He didn't even tell me. I don't know if my phone wasn't working, so maybe he didn't get to, but he didn't even tell me. He should have found me to tell me. But I just want to give him a great big shout out because sometimes when you take on new opportunity, people trust you for a new opportunity, and all sometimes people have to go off is your word. You know, when you interview with them, when they select you, all they have is your word. So for him to be there, and you can just jump in the chat. I think you've been there a year. I'm not totally sure, but the awards that he took in at that award ceremony was outstanding. I think he even got like a little Oscar man. But I know some of the awards that he got 1 year yesterday. Okay, congratulations on your 1 year anniversary. I'm so proud of you. I know that the people that hired you, I'm often hearing how proud they are of you. And thank you for the opportunity. Some of the awards that he got was Employee of the Month, Rookie of the Year. Oh my God, I could just go on and on and on. So, Pookie, whenever you feel that you're ready to drop some of those things in the chat, feel free to drop some of them. But I know that he must have gotten about seven different certificates and award on yesterday. And that's really a big deal. It's a big deal when you're a hardworking employee for one, but it's truly a big deal when your job recognizes you because some of us work just as hard as Pookie, right? And sometimes people tell us how much of a good job we do, but doing it in a form where you were actually awarded really stood out and meant a lot. So I definitely want to shout that out. I definitely like to encourage my kids. I definitely like to put them on a pedestal. People would tell you, I know when they were younger and they were coming up, people like, oh, you think your kids better than everybody? Well, if you don't think your kids are better than everybody, please tell me who will, right? Because the world is going to suck them up and push them around and knock them out and do all these things. So if you're not a parent that's proud and firm about what you instilled in your child and seeing it, because there's going to be things that you don't agree with. things that you do like and don't like. But when there's a proud moment and a time to acknowledge them, and they set the barrier, because it could be so many different ways. So I definitely want you all to make sure you're tooting your children's horn. Toot your children horn, toot your parents horn, toot your spouse horn, toot your horn. Make people around you happy, make them proud, because there's really trying times going on and there's lots of sad times. So when you get something positive and some great news to share, don't be ashamed and do not allow anyone to hinder you from discussing what's great in your life. Because when you fall on a downfall and you have a difficult time, trust and believe, even if you don't have to invite them, they will talk about you. So thank you, Trell. They will talk about you. Service, RT, above and beyond. That was the award that stood out to me the most. Above and beyond. That really, really meant a great deal, because I'm definitely looking forward to my check that I'll be getting from my job next month for scoring really high on my evaluation. So learn how to toot yourself on the horn. Even your nosy neighbors, even your nosy family members, there are people all in your window watching you as you leave out the house. So anything that's not going right in your life, they're reporting it. So you make sure you give good reports. Good reports are positive. They're called praise reports. Find you some and stand on them. Talk about them. In spite of who may not like them, you lift yourself up, you encourage yourself, and I'm constantly telling you over and over to love on yourself. I do want to tell you what some of our next topics will be. Of course, today is family business. We'll be wrapping it up today. And the next one is, oh, how did I forget it that quick? Okay, so I know the week after next we'll be doing mental health, talking about cognitive. But next week we're be talking about staying. Oh gosh, how did I write that wrong? Hold on. Dayon, sometime I note keep if she could think of it and tap it in the chat. But we'll be talking about that, living in your now. I think that's what it is, staying and living in your now. And that's going to be very, very interesting. I definitely hope that you all chime in next week as we talk about it. What some give you some idea of what that's going to be about is just embracing life and enjoying life where it is. Not saying, hey, when I make another 50,000, I'll be ready to buy a house. When I make another 10,000, I'll be ready to buy a car. We want to just focus on living in your now. So that's what next week's topic is going to be. Start getting some ideas. Send me some texts on what you want to talk about. Okay, so as I go into my sister's text, the first thing she wants to talk about with family secrets is illness. How do you feel about illness? Have anyone ever encountered a situation where someone in your family was extremely ill, sick, and you did not. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mimi. Okay. And you did not know of them being ill. Okay. Also knowing that everyone's verge of success is different. Okay. And it's so important to share that. And we're going to talk about that later down the line, too. But right now, has anyone ever had a situation where someone that you were close to, loved one, and they had an illness, and you didn't even know about it? You may not have found out about it until they passed on. You may have not found out about it until they was just about to pass on. Or on a positive note, some of them may have overcame the illness, but you still feel that you thought your relationship was so close with that person that you thought that they would have told you. Have anyone experienced that, and in a family, any type of way, with any illness or any sickness? Because most people will say that they didn't want to share what was going on with them because of I think it has a lot to do with it being personal, for one. But I have heard people say that they didn't want to worry somebody, right? And I want to know, how do you feel about that? So if you haven't ever experienced having to go through that with a family member and not knowing that they were sick or ill, and they just passed on and they have been dealing with it a while, and you found out about it, if you don't have that scenario, just the next one will be, how would you feel? Like if it's someone really close to you, and even if this has not happened to you, how would you feel? So Tea Time, please talk to me or with your outlook on that there, with being able to express how you would feel knowing someone was sick and they didn't tell you. Do you just feel like it's personal? You never been there? I need to hear from you before we go into the next one. So while I'm waiting for you all to chat, I had a friend that tea time was which actually motivated tea time. And it was my really, really close childhood friend, and she passed to cancer. And she did tell me, I know that it was like a situation where it kind of, I know cancer has a way of like speeding up really quickly. And I know that people have a lot of processes. So I know that when we would talk on the phone, and she actually told me on New Year's Day in 2020, and she told me the reason why she didn't tell me was because she would see how consumed I was with Nala, because Yari wasn't here yet. And just every time she would go to my Facebook, it gave her so much life, seeing how happy I was about Nala, seeing how I interact with Nala. And she said she just never could find the time to rain on my parade. So with me and her being extremely close, I would talk to her about, well, do you think it came from this? Do you think it came from that? And her response to me was always, well, I just don't want to think about it. Kitty, I just want to get over this, and I just want to get better and put this behind me. And that was her focus. Like, she didn't want to be overwhelming, because she just wanted to overcome it and go on with her life. But unfortunately, she was not able to do that, right? And this sometimes happens. So since you all don't want to kind of share if you had very positive thinking, right? Very positive thinking, and she stayed positive till the end, right? But so since you responded, Mimi, if you were dealing with a situation, and of course, Lord behold, not let any of these things happen, but if you were dealing with an illness, and it don't have to just be cancer, it could be other things going on. Do you feel like you're comfortable with sharing that? Um, do you feel like those types of things, you understand why people don't share those types of things? What is your look on that as it relates to that? Do you understand? Don't understand? Because like the one side of the person who is not the person dealing with the illness, we want it because we want to be there for them. But then we also have to understand that this is this person's situation, right? And they're thinking a whole lot of thoughts, and they're going through a lot of things. Hey, Dr. Greenwood. Thank you for chiming in. And we are talking about when we found out someone in our family is dealing with an illness or a close friend, and they may have not shared their information with us, and they may pass on. How do you deal with that, or how do you see? Do you feel like it's something that they should have shared? Let's see. I see why people don't want to share. So someone said they see why people don't want to share. Sometimes other people make a situation worse than it is with their tongue. Okay, so I never looked at it from that point of view. This person is saying they don't want to share with people because people may go around spreading it to people that they don't want the information given to, right? You can say I'm in the hospital, and someone will call the family saying so and so is dying, right? Okay, so so this particular person said they're not sharing because they don't want someone speaking death in their life. Do anyone else have anything as it relates to yes or no, if they would share if they were dealing with an illness, or if they understand why someone would not share if they're dealing with an illness? And I'll give you all about another second there before we go on to the next thing. And this one may be a little bit more engaging, the next part with it. And I guess with the thing with sickness is, if you're not dealing with the sickness, is really kind of hard, and people kind of really stay away from that. I know I'm one to stay away with it, and I honestly wouldn't know what to do. So I really don't have a response. I'm probably like some of you all. I just don't have a response. Like, I just pray that I don't encounter anything as such, but I really wouldn't know what to do, right? Oh, and shout out to why I can't get her name out. Sarah Jake Roberts. We went to see her with my sister Tamika at First Baptist Church of Glenarden. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay. So Mika chatted in here. I wouldn't want people to worry about me. Okay, okay. And when we say that, that's what I'm looking for. I wanted someone to say not wanting people to worry about them, because although we don't want them to worry about us while we're going through, just imagine how devastating it is if they were to lose you, right? Some people feel like if you didn't care about me when I was well, I don't need you pretty much when I'm sick. Okay, okay, I definitely could get that. But Chucky, what about when there's someone that truly do care about you, right? Let's see. People need to advertise yourself. Right, definitely. I understand both sides. I try to be expressive because I may be able to educate someone else. That's where I'm going at with it, Mimi, to educate someone else because we may be able to tell somebody, and of course, we're thinking about getting better. But I may be able to share my story on some things that coulda or shoulda have not happened that may, could save someone else's life, right? Um, um, for because there's someone else. My example was COVID. I was not secretive. I wanted to make others aware for safety reasons. I'm glad you pointed out COVID because believe it or not, when people was catching COVID, it was very, very, very secretive, right? On one end, it was very secretive, but then on the other end, more illnesses and stuff was discussed in the workforce than ever before because you just because of HIPAA, you just didn't really say too much about anything to anybody. So that was a really good example. But it's not fair if you don't share and you pay. So that's how I see it, Mika. It's not fair. But then it's mine to share, right? Right. So I do think that it's like a catch 22 with that. So I think that just giving people the outlook. So maybe this will help somebody understand why somebody didn't share something with you, like how to say go, who are you? Like why do you right? But it also will show how devastating someone may be if you didn't share the information with them. I would share to my close loved ones. Okay, I would tell the real people that love me. Okay, so that's definitely understanding. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next one. Let's see. Big check. Right, right. That's what I was thinking, Mimi, but I wasn't gonna say anything, right? I feel like it can be the same with suicide. Okay, wow, okay. Where people have committed suicide. And I always felt like that was a selfish act, but through prayer I learned to understand that it has a lot to do with mental health, and you don't know what's going on in someone's brain. So we're gonna make sure we parking like that. Let me put that here for when we talk about the cognitive piece 2 weeks ago, and we're gonna talk about suicide and just being inside of someone's with so much going on in someone's head. For example, suffering from depression. Okay, so that's different. Um, People don't, and not only do people not discuss it, Mika, but they also don't know. Like, I feel like some people don't know that they're depressed. And that's why it's very important for people to surround themselves with you. And Mika, when we have the next discussion, hopefully you can join in when we do the cognitive in 2 weeks from now, to see if we could kind of like get some information on some signs of depression, right? Because we all know, and people's different. So some people can deal with so many things and take on something else, and just someone else may not be able to, and then they may commit suicide, right? So I definitely parking like that with cognitive because I do feel like, oh my gosh, that's just like so devastating for your family to go through. And anyone can correct me if I'm not correct, but to my understanding, I've heard that some insurance companies won't pay if someone commits suicide. So I'm not sure how true that is, but just imagine if insurance companies do not pay the financial hardship aside from the grief that your family members will have to take on when making that decision. So if anyone is dealing with any form of depression or mental health, I definitely think that you need to reach out to someone, even if it's not a family or a friend. And I will say this over and over again: seek some type of advice. At the Sarah Jake's Robin tour that we went to on Saturday, there was a therapist there with her. I forgot her name, but she was awesome. From a spiritual realm, she was awesome, right? I agree with Pookie, and someone really famous has passed away from suicide not too long ago, and he was a really great person. And the thing of it is, like, people appear to be a great person, they appear to be happy, but we sometimes just don't know what people is going through on the back end, right? Depression is real. Depression can definitely lead to suicide. Life insurance do not pay. Thank you so much. Her name was Dr. Anita. Awesome. There's nothing, it's one thing to have a therapist, but when they're spiritually connected, that was a whole like that. When I got home, I was so full that all I could do was sleep, right? It was an awesome experience. With mental health, the person you're talking to has to have a basic understanding of the illness, or they can make the situation. They definitely, oh my gosh, Shucky, they definitely have to have an understanding. And we're going to talk about that and put that over there too for understanding, because I had a message on that when we get to that. Okay. Um, Very true. I'm really good at living through trauma, but it caused me to walk away and not deal with people who I feel would trigger that. So it turns me into a person who has a certain social battery. And Mimi, it's very important to do what's healthy for you. Check her out, Anita Phillips. Please check her out. Depression sadly helps you understand how to put a brave face on. Oh, you all are on. I hope you all be back on the, let's see, what is this, the 15th? Hope you all are back on the 15th. Okay, so let's get into another family secret. What is another family secret that you feel like families had for a long time? Jot some things out there before I tell you all this. Jot some things out there, and I hope we can get a lot of response nice and quickly so we won't run out of time. Colorism and favorites. Oh my Mimi, that's a whole girl, that's a whole nother topic. Stop that, Mimi. Stop that, Mimi. Y'all don't know how it is to grow up dark skin. Y'all don't know how it is to grow up dark skin. And look, I can't even tell y'all what I'm gonna do as a relationship. I can't even tell my story right now with that. But that is so awesome. Anyone else? What's another family secret that's hidden? Another family secret that's hidden. Yeah, I'm telling you, you had to experience it, right? Because we big on discrimination, but growing up dark skin, and I'm not saying that if you light skin or brown skin, you ain't go through it, but I never had a chance to be light skin or brown skin in this life, only chocolate. So I know what it was when society thought that everybody that was dark skin was ugly. Like you just ain't have a winning chance. And I will say my teeth was a little buck and I had beady edges, but baby, 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 baby. If y'all can see this face right here, right now, you all would never know, right? Never know. No, no cosmetic. I wish y'all could see me because y'all could see my eyes, my nose, mouth, teeth, no braces. I had overgrown teeth. So if y'all only could see my face right now, oh my gosh, baby, if y'all could see me, right? If y'all could see me, y'all would know. Um, I'll say forget your intentions and feelings about so right, right. Okay. Yeah, if y'all can see me. So yeah, yeah. So the other thing that the person sent to me was children out of wedlock. Children out of wedlock. Is that a family secret? Like, or is the new generation more acceptable to it? Children out of wedlock, right? Um, it was a big deal when I was coming up because I guess more I don't know. Were more families married? I don't know. I never really did a statistic on that. But I know that it was nope, they it was not more married. Okay. So maybe the children wasn't solely out of wedlock. Maybe some of the children were just children outside of the household. But for the person that wanted me to share it, so you do think it's more acceptable now? The person that wanted me to share it situation was out of wedlock. So how do you all feel about that? Right? Are you accepting a child? Yes, no, maybe so. Um, okay, so let's see. Okay, so it's not a surprise to make the most of it. Oh, there was some other chats came in that I missed. Oh gosh. Okay. But now let's see. Definitely married. More in the day, more back in the day, which can be good and bad thing. Okay, so how do you all feel about children out of wedlock? Should the child be blamed? What is your take on that? Should the child be the family secret? Have you all ever known of a situation where a child was a family secret? This person's particular story was they came around the family, so they were the child out of wedlock, and they came around the family, and they didn't have a clue as what was going on. And the person also stated to me that even up until now, with this person being an adult and the person, one of the siblings being an adult, they still have issues with them. And the person's stance is with it. Why are you so mad with me, right? Why are you so mad with me because of what our dad did? Why should I be punished for that, right? Yeah. Okay, 1 second. That's Yara, you guys. Um, let's see which can be good and bad. Children by a person The family doesn't know. Okay, so are you Chuck? So Chucky, are you saying that they're out of wedlock if they're by someone, but the family doesn't know? So you're saying that if the child has contact with the family, then it's not out of wedlock? Is that what you're saying? So is it the child's fault, right? And then that has a lot to do with forgiveness, right? Because nobody really would want their child around someone. Now, let's just give a scenario of saying when you meet someone, right? And they have a 5-year old. So you kind of love that 5-year old. You love on that because the 5-year old came with the person that you're dealing with, right? But it's a little different when your child comes outside of that, right? So let me hear your thoughts. I thought if you get pregnant by who, okay, I thought you get pregnant by who I was with at the time they would propose and marry me when I was. Oh, okay, hold on. I thought if I get pregnant by who I was, okay, at the same time they would propose and marry me, um, and you was in for a rude awakening. Okay, but that's a story that was overcame, right? And that's sometimes a fairy tale that we live in. We get pregnant and they come to us and they offer our hand in marriage and then we're married, right? So let's see what Mimi got. There's nothing like feeling like you're on the outside of an inside family that is already established. An adoption, foster, wedlock, all can be an example. Okay, Mimi, because I guess there is some situations where it may not be the just an married family, but it could just be a family in general. So an example like that, Mimi, and let me know if I'm kind of hitting the direction. So I live here with my husband, and we have a 2-year old and a 4-year old. And then my husband, 12-year old, comes to live with us, and she's kind of out of that family dynamic. Would that be like an example of where you're going with it? So now I'm 12 years old. I do know my father, but I never lived with him. So now I'm coming to live with him, and he's in a family with a wife and 2 children. I know someone who mother only stayed because the dad agreed not to be involved and only pay child support. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm not mad about having siblings. I don't know. So you wouldn't be mad, like, so even if you found out, so Chucky, if you found out dad had a son a year older than you and all this time you've been shielding hers and you thought you were the oldest sibling, so now we all get a new big brother, you'll be cool with that? So and when you're saying that, Chucky, is that based off the age you are now? Because with maturity, we sometimes are a little bit more acceptable, or what do you think as it relates to that? You should never marry just because you're pregnant or having a baby. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that because I feel like people that do that have the kids' intention first. So, like, I don't like you, you don't like me, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play house and get through this, right? So I definitely get what you're saying, but I don't know. Like, I'm big on keeping families together. Like, we gotta start sharing these responsibilities. It's hard meeting siblings when you're an adult and trying to develop a relationship if the parent fault, though. Definitely. I do, because it's not based on love. Okay, that's true. But y'all probably loved each other. So you're just saying that you might have been hitting it and didn't love her anyway. I agree, because my sibling I met as an adult, I still don't know. Oh wow, you do have, okay. Wow, I forgot all about that with you. Because I try to connect more with my siblings as adults. I think my situation was a little different, and some people have similar situations like this. Where, if men or women, because I don't like to be biased, so men or women, if they're still having a relationship with the other person outside of the person that they're with. So let me just say, Christian. So if Christian has a child with Nessa, and him and Nessa is together and they have a child. But if he's still dealing with kid, it kind of makes it a little challenging for CJ to come over and feel welcome because it's tension. But if the relationship is truly over and it's healthy, I feel that it wouldn't be as much tension. What is your thought on that? I think it's easier meeting them as an adult because you're more understanding of the situation. Definitely. Step siblings be the same. Laugh a lot. I get along with them though. Okay. Sometimes kids, hey sis. Sometimes kids coming from the outside don't like to share the parent. Definitely don't want to share the parent. And I even have heard instances where there's older siblings and kids are truly jealous that they feel like that child, the younger child, had the parent and they didn't, so it makes it a disconnect as well, right? It's difficult if kids meeting other kids they didn't grow up with in their house, so it's definitely difficult, right? But who responsibility is it to get together? Let me just ask that. Do you feel like I'm the oldest sibling, so it's my job. And Mimi, this will be your role because you're the oldest, or Chucky's the oldest. Um, or do you feel like it's something that your parents should have done? And because I've heard people say, well, if the father or the mom doesn't get the children won't see each other in a sense, right? So if you're a man and you may have two baby mothers, or if you're a woman and you may have two baby fathers, and your two children lives with their fathers, and the only way your children are going to get to see each other, mom, is if you get them on a weekend so that they can have some type of relationship, right? So who responsibility should it be to make the children connect? I basically grew up with two brothers, and unfortunately, I have a bias because I know them more. We went through life together. Okay, so right, okay, but having a sister like that was awesome, right, Mimi? Because you went from being the little sister to me to being the big sister to Hope and Ricky. So that had to be exciting itself. Like, was that? Do you feel like that was the Do you feel like that was a great connection? Like, did that make you excited? Let's see. Negative, I repeat. Okay, absolutely right. Negative, I repeat boundaries, and you don't wish to be around me. I'm okay. Oh, okay, okay. So we're being a big sis. Okay, okay, okay. I'm so glad it's over because she wants to come in here and get in the way. Hopefully she'll get down in just a second. Let's see. As the oldest, I'm still learning how to build intentional relationship with my dad's 29 children. Girl, your dad ain't got no 29 children. You're so silly. But you do have a lot of siblings, so you do feel like that's challenging. Here you go. Here, baby. There you go. There you go. If we all kids at the same time, the oldest can't do anything different. Okay, okay, definitely. So what about once you're older, right? Do you want that family connection? Because like I definitely know that I am extremely close to my brothers because we grew up in the house together, but I do try to extend my relationship with my other siblings. And I don't feel like it's challenging at all because we don't get together as much, but when we get together, it is valued. Hold on one second. Shamika, we need your assistance. Security. Okay, so she wants me because tea time is going on. Oh, we're actually over. I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't know we went over. Apologies. Let's see. Someone on the phone said, "I'm glad I'm connected with my paternal half siblings. I love them, so that is great. And thank you all so much. I didn't know that I went over. Thank you all so much for sipping with a sister, week after week. I'm still taking care of my mom, so I can't be responsible for her kids too. Okay, definitely understand that. Um, and we'll be back here next week. So again, my mom, so Tiffany, I'm going to try. I need you to call me, and after you call me, Trey, I need to call Tiffany. But we're doing something for mom next Thursday. If anyone don't get their information by Saturday and I don't have your number, please reach out to me so that I can send the information to you, so that we can celebrate her birthday. And thank you all so much for sipping. Our next conversations will be talking about cognitive and suicide, mental health, and then follow back up with the week after that. We will be having living. Oh gosh, I keep forgetting the topic, but you all know how it goes. But thank you all so much, and I look forward to sipping with you next week. Thank you.